All right, guys. So I clicked on Twitter, and I noticed a fired wrestler was trending, and that person was Mandy Rose. And I'm sure that you all have seen this tweet from this guy, I guess, some weirdo simp fan who probably pays for her OnlyFans like once every month. And essentially he pointed out that Mandy Rose was the first double champion in NXT women's history and not Stephanie Valkyrie. See, this is what's wrong with just lazy people. They don't do work. They don't. And I had made a tweet about this. And like I quote tweeted it and I said like, all you have to do is do 5 seconds of research, and Mandy Rose is kind of still mad that, you know what I'm saying, history is passing her by and shit like that. Like, that's essentially what my tweet was about. And then I keep scrolling on Twitter and I see this video of her saying that, like, people who never won a championship is essentially saying that however you want to spin it, I did it. And mind you, there was a community note on that same tweet that had said, like, Mandy Rose was not a double champion. She just, I'll get to it in a second. But Mandy, let's kind of be honest here. We're talking about history here. And the last time I checked, you didn't break any records while you were there in NXT. Yeah, you held the championship for over a year and you had a dominant reign, but at the same time, it's like, it is what it is. Like, nobody even recognized you for your talent while you were in WWE. They recognized you for your face and your most viral moment of your career. The first time, as far as I checked, there was a kid that said he wanted to marry you. And while actual real women like Stephanie Valkyrie is winning championships all over the world, you were kissing Otis at WrestleMania. You were a background character. I don't understand why we're still having Mandy Rose talks in 2024. She's like a postcard girl, like the girls that hold up the cards at the events for the fights. That's the type of girl she is. I think she was a bikini world champion before she came to WWE. Like, she's a useless character, hence why she was never a champion on the main roster. So the fact that we're still having talks about her in 2025 is actually absurd. I just don't understand why. And so let me get to what's really going on, all right? So Mandy Rose is complaining about the fact that she's not recognized as the first ever double champion in NXT women's history. Let me educate y'all, for those of you who are uneducated on the situation. All right. Mandy Rose was not a double champion. She unified belts. And if you look up the definition of unified, you bring titles together and mush them as one. Kind of like Roman Reigns was a unified champion. Right? Kind of like Chris Jericho. Kind of like Carmelo Hayes with the North American and Cruiserweight Championship. That is just simple research that you can do online. I don't understand why we don't understand that. Stephanie Valkyrie is actually a double champion, like Becky Lynch was, like Seth Rollins was. And she defended both the belts on the same night. And the last time I checked, you won the NXT UK Women's Championship, and that championship was nowhere to be seen. The same thing with Braun Breaker, the same thing with Pretty Deadly. Like, I just don't understand it. It's like, and this is not even towards like the wrestling fans who know about the situation. It's for those who are uneducated. But it just takes 5 seconds of research. And I said that in my tweet. I just don't understand like why she is still salty about being fired and not being recognized. The first thing that kind of set me off was what she said about Tiffany Stratton. That was the first thing that set me off. This is the second thing. It's just like, let's just stop having talks about her in 2025. Let's just stop. Because she's sticky history passed her by. She was the greatest NXT Women's Champion of all time. Well, she's up there, but she wasn't as great as Asuka. Let's be clear about that. So, stay in your lane. Mandy Rose, you look like fucking Candace from Phineas and Ferb with a BBL and an OnlyFans. That's exactly what you are. So, make an OnlyFans, fuck off, and just stop talking about wrestling. And stick to being a bodybuilder, I guess, or a fitness model, or whatever the hell you do now. Just, can we just stop having talks about Mandy Rose in 2025? And this is the only time I'm going to give this attention. Simple as.